Congressman Mike Waltz, the Republican from Florida, joins me now. Congressman, if this was too much, even for Yoel Roth, who was a severe critic of Donald Trump in the 2020 elections, I mean, isn't that a direct violation of the First Amendment, where you have the FBI demanding social media to print stuff that in many cases was false?
Yeah, David, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg that we're seeing. And thankfully, Elon Musk is shining a spotlight on all of this. But how wide did this go and how deep did this go? What was the involvement also of Facebook, of YouTube, of other social media companies? How extensively were they deleting accounts and censoring accounts? And then, how high up, who was directing all of this? We know that 80 agents were dedicated to it. David, and I think the thing that's so disturbing to me is, of course, we don't want foreign election interference. And that was the original premise, supposedly, of this task force. But I don't see anything in these exchanges that point to Russian, Iranian, Chinese, North Korean, or other types of malicious interference.
Well, on the contrary, Congressman,
way beyond their scope.
On the contrary, they were pushing false information that Russia was involved, particularly with Hunter Biden's laptop. For years, Democrats seem to be concerned about organizations like the FBI or DHS or whomever from interfering, getting involved politically in our political process. But they're silent now about that. I mean, their silence is deafening, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, well, let's just go back a few years. I mean, the Democrats, from a civil liberties standpoint, really threw their hands up at any type of government surveillance, interference. Look at their reaction to Edward Snowden, where they, really praised him as a hero for revealing NSA looking into our lives. But now, when it aligns with what they wanted politically, with the defeat and the silencing of Donald Trump and conservatives, then you add that on top of the IRS scandal years ago with Lois Lerner, the raid of Mar-a-Lago just 2 days before the political freeze out. Yeah, I mean, the 50 intelligence officials that used the weight and gravity of their office to convince us that it was Russian information on Hunter Biden, and the erosion of our national security, the trust in our national security apparatus is truly, truly frightening. Yeah. And that's what we ultimately have to restore, and transparency is the only way to do that.
Very quickly, Congressman, your colleague Mike Gallagher is calling on all Americans to delete TikTok off their phones. Watch this.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance, and ByteDance is effectively controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. The editor-in-chief of ByteDance, for example, is a CCP secretary. Since a large percentage of young Americans use TikTok to get their news, whether we want them to have the ability to selectively edit that news. It's as if in 1958, given that TikTok is on the cusp of becoming the most powerful media company in America, we would have allowed the KGB and Pravda to buy the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune, the Washington Post.
Congressman, quick reaction to that. Do you agree that it's that severe?
It is that severe. I 100% agree. I have a rule to, at a minimum, pending that members of the House can't use TikTok, but we need to ban it as a country. India has done that. We can't have a situation where hundreds of millions of Americans can be influenced by our greatest adversary. Imagine a situation in a global crisis where they could tell 18-year-old men not to join the military, not to be recruited, or they could geolocate pilots or railroad engineers or key members of a nuclear reactor, so to speak, critical infrastructure. We can't have it.
Congressman, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's the end of this segment. We appreciate you being here. Mike Waltz, good to see you. Thank you very much. The opening bell is next. Happy holidays.